Hello, everybody. We are back once again for yet another Cafe and Diner Archives receipt chain, this time TPA. This one is a little bit long, so we're going to split the receipts into two different videos. The first will be TPA1-04, and the second 5-7. Today, we start with TPA01. It was posted on the 2nd of January, 1996 by employee number 17. It says, I bring some troubling news, my caffeinated colleagues. I've received word from numerous sources that there has been an inexplicable increase in train derailments, engine failures, and general vehicular mayhem and mishaps. Now, while I would be inclined to believe this is further work from Mr. Hazen, we have already sorted that order out. Additionally, Mr. Hazen isn't so precise with his mischief. He is a creature of id, driven to dismantle indiscriminately. The target of these recent, dare I say, disasters seem largely connected to the Open Doors Church and its associated organizations. Of course, I have not been able to tie everything together yet, namely the train derailments. As for the various engine failures, it seems that those affected have in some way opposed the Open Doors Church or its parent-led committee. Satan sucks. In many cases, those who have stood in the way of the church and its activities have found themselves dead. Those who still need to be alive, however, merely had accidents severe enough to turn them to the Lord in a frightful panic. And who do you suppose was in their hospital room to welcome them with open arms? Yes, of course, Padre Santos. It's quite clear that Padre is having Mrs. Pleasant work her deadly and disastrous charms, though I still can't entirely see why. As I mentioned earlier, it would seem that there has also been a string of train derailments. In all cases, various chemicals and raw materials were stolen from the train. The recent crash of Mr. White's private jet was possibly more concerning. While Mr. White is fine, a few of his wares were stolen. I fear that the Open Doors Church is working on building something, though I am unsure what. Worse, it would seem that Long Beach is falling further into its insidious tax-free treats and sweets. That's not a good thing, I would say, but we'll have to see what happens in the next one, which is CTPA02. It's passcode, and it says, I bet Diana did not see her coming. Wham! Right on 163. Don't know what that means. Let's go check the wiki archive. What very famous political party, amongst other things, sounds similar to Nazi? Which famous fictional person is named Diana? Which Nazi appears as a foe for her, more specifically appearing in volume 163, though spelt slightly differently? That sounds like Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 163 Nazi. Paula von Gunther? Figured it out. Look at me. I am the best. This one was posted on the 3rd of January 1996 by employee number 53, and it says, okay, well, good news, bad news. I guess more bad news than good. I can confirm 70's impeccable hunch that this recent string of transportation failures is absolutely tied to our lovely friend Mrs. Pleasant. Bad news, he hasn't been subtle about it, at all. He's gone full glamour off, flying right up to cars and running them off the road, or inflicting mass panic and hysteria if that didn't work. I'd say he's literally putting the fear of God into people. This is mostly bad news for me, as I have to go and try and spin this, but it's really hard to convince people they didn't see a 6-foot-tall moth fly up to their car. Notable targets include a few city council presidents, the mayor's husband, and numerous principals and other youth authority figures like guidance counselors and the like. Notably, the Mothman did a particularly nasty number on Wilson High's principal. Why? Well, come on. I think it's pretty obvious, right? Padre, or the Mothman, are trying to send a message to us. I mean, the Red Man killed a kid from the Newcomers High School and maimed and traumatized numerous other kids. That or there's something special about Wilson High that isn't our 3 cafe employees. But let's be real, it probably has to do with them. So why? Why them? I mean, I know Red is an augur, and the twins are the kids of some powerful people, but still, it feels way more personal than just that. Though it also feels very roundabout. Why would Mothman target their principal? Why not their parents? Okay, to be fair, I don't think the Mothman wants to deal with number 44 and 1313's parents, but number 35's parents, they're just normal tourists, right? Or heck, just target the newcomers directly. Not that I'm advocating for that, guys. I'm just saying it seems like Padre and his crew are playing an entirely different game than we think they're playing. And that's very concerning, to say the least. It's probably gonna get worse in later receipts. So let's find out. This is CTPA03, is also passcoded, and the passcode hint is, Herbert loves whipping a vortex and portal into shape. I don't know what that means at all. Which famous sci-fi writer is named Herbert? Has he written anything with the word whipping? What is the term for portals and teleportation in general? There's a specific website listing science fiction technology that might help. I don't know. Portal tube. I would have never gotten that. Portal tube. I'm not that bright, guys. I'm not that bright. Okay, this one was posted the next day on the 4th of January 1996 by employee number 62, and it says, I don't entirely disagree with Shill, but I think he's overthinking things. Padre wants to stir up a satanic panic, however counterintuitive that may be. A principal of a school where a kid died due to satanic influence seems like a more than reasonable target, doesn't it? I mean, I'm sure Padre, Pleasant, Alka, and Umber are at least aware that it's also 35, 44, and 1313 school, but I don't believe that was their only reason for attacking their principal. I think the bigger question is, why does Satan want a satanic panic? Well, another question is why Satan wanted to destroy all of Long Beach with a death worm. I think it has something to do with the anathema proxy. I'm guessing the death worm was plan A, but that didn't work. So now he's on plan B, which is the satanic panic. So somehow destroying Long Beach gets Satan his anathema proxy. And I feel like he's trying to do the same, just slower and more carefully this time. Of course, summoning a giant death worm to provoke A23 into nuking Long Beach would both garner attention and an attempt to stop it. But slowly destroying Long Beach through a feverish satanic panic led by Satan himself, that could work. But I can't imagine Satan is only working on one plan at a time either. I mean, he was having the Red Man manipulate kids at Wilson High way before the Death Worm fiasco. And he's having Mothman steal various chemicals, materials, and magical objects in addition to manipulating and killing Long Beach figureheads. What we need to figure out, in my opinion, is how exactly Satan plans to enact the anathema proxy. If we can do that, we might be able to finally get a step ahead of him and his parish, because right now it feels like we're a few too many steps behind. That sounds very true at the moment. We're gonna end this video off with TPA04, it's passcoded as well, and the password hint is Artemission to the letter, a battle brewed from 610 onward. Supernatural trivia. No clue. Clue 1. What and where is Artemission? No idea. Is there a letter to Ephesus? Not the one in Revelation. The one that has a book dedicated to it. What does Ephesians 6:10 discuss? What warfare is it talking about? Spiritual warfare. I couldn't figure that out. I'm not that bright. This was posted on the 12th of January, 1996 by number 35, and it says, great, awesome, cool, fantastic. The Mothman just ran the entire cheer squad's bus off the road. Luckily, no one was seriously hurt except for a few cuts and bruises. I suppose it probably messes up their winter season, but then again, I don't really keep up with school sports. What I do keep up with is the inescapable fallout of the utter prep meltdown happening at Wilson. They've, totally seen a demon for sure. It was totally, so scary when that grody-ass bug thing grabbed onto our bus. We were, totally going to die or whatever. You know what? How about they gag me with a spoon for sure? Though, as much as the preps get on my nerves, in all fairness, they did actually see a demon. A demon who sunk his claws into their bus and pulled it off the road. And if Brittany W. is to be believed, the Mothman even flipped it and they had to leave through the roof. Of course, the more rational people in Long Beach are trying to suggest that it is a mass-induced hysteria and that the bus driver was clearly under the influence. Nice work, Shill. Sadly, there aren't that many rational people left in Long Beach, so the suckers are swarming over this demonic attack. I don't know why I put that in quotes. It was a demonic attack. It's so annoying that all this hullabaloo from the PTA parents, our principal, and now our beloved and cherished preps is true. But it also isn't. Satan isn't actually trying to influence the youth of Long Beach into joining his hellish forces. He's I don't know. He's trying to use a loophole to open the gates of hell, which, as I type it out, doesn't sound that much better. Well, now our Professor X principal has a whole squad of giggling proselytizers. So that's super fun. That doesn't sound super fun, and I'm sure it's not gonna get any more fun in the next video. But until then, sweet nightmares. I just wanted to take the time to thank my Patreons and channel members. Your support is so appreciated. If you are not a channel member or Patreon and you would like to become one, there's a link in the description below. All channel members and Patreons receive 24 hours early access to all content posted on both of my channels. And all Patreons or channel members of the $10 Hellhound tier can request one horror-related video or stream topic, or one horror-related game that I play on my live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel and the content that I make.